grow up in a farming background. I married into it, and it was never part of the plan. I was trying to, I think, impress my in-laws when I was visiting. My wife, my girlfriend at the time, and I remember going and pulling weeds out of some young trees and just some stuff on the when we were there visiting for the weekend was my first introduction to it. And then over time, kind of became enamored with the idea of farming and thought I'd give it a shot, and I never left. So
I grew up on the farm. There was a lot of nights, watching Dad come home from work and then immediately eat supper, go out and hit the farm. That's when he did all of his personal farming. So I got roped in at an early age to, plow snow, mow orchard blocks, just some little jobs that he could pawn off to me wherever he could. And then I have since gone away to Dalhousie University at their ag campus to sort of pick up some more of the technical and business side of things.
Since I started, our farm size has doubled in terms of productive acreage. That's been a big challenge to grow exponentially like that. Not that we're a massive operation at 130 acres, but when you were basically, it was my in-laws, Sam's parents, farming in the evenings and weekends because they both worked full time, and growing that operation to 60 to 70 acres to then try to get this farm to a place where it can support more than one family by bringing me on full time, and then what that needed to look like. We needed to grow, and we also wanted to grow. We didn't necessarily want to farm some of these old blocks that have been here for 30 years, and things like IFTA, and talking to other growers and visiting other orchards and seeing new systems is exciting. And that's one of the most exciting things about tree fruit is the minute you think you got it figured out, you go on another tour or something, and there's a better, more efficient way to grow apples and to grow tree fruit. And I think that's part of the fun, and just trying to find what you like best and what's going to work for your operation, and increasing your fruit quality and having an orchard that looks like something you're going to want to work in 20 years down the road. So we've been doing that and planting high density systems, and that's been a lot of fun. And it's been a learning curve. We went from one size farm to, again, a much bigger one, and learning how to all of a sudden manage, not just managing mature orchard, but managing immature orchard and trying to get that to fill its space and crop successfully while growing nursery trees and dabbling in peaches a little bit, and also taking on all the land prep and things ourselves. We don't hire very much out. We've got a very skilled mechanic and self-made engineer in Larry, my father-in-law and Sam's dad, who keeps everything running and keeps us going. And so yeah, we've kind of been learning on the go and making mistakes and trying not to make them the second time, and figuring things out. And it's been a challenge, but it's been also exciting, and one of the reasons farming tree fruits is a lot of fun and I think worthwhile. So
yeah, I think our practices of not hiring out jobs, not buying brand new gear for every job. We do a lot of Larry's. He monitors the auctions. We buy affordable gear that we can put the work into and make work. And we like to own everything ourselves. We like to do that kind of work. We're not beholden to anyone else's schedule, anyone else's gear. We're not on the hook for anything. Yeah, it's all ours. We work at our own pace, and it enables us to save a lot of money. If you're going to pick between buying a new truck and a new sprayer or a new tractor, it's probably better to get the gear that's actually going to help your farm. There's a lot of luxuries that they're fun, and they're fun toys, like having a nice truck, and being comfortable is great, but actually putting your resources where it's going to make you money, I think has a really big impact.
I would say do your homework before you start. There's resources out there, there's people who have been doing it, who have made the mistakes that you don't need to make if you go and learn from them. Go work on somebody else's operation. Go see what, travel, go to IFTA, go to your work farm or your local workshops and things like that, and learn from people that have been doing it. There's lots to learn, because it is a big investment to get started, and the margin for error, especially with the financial side, becomes limited. You need, once you get going and you buy land and you put the money into planting orchard, you need to start getting a return on that investment. So, and also when I first started on the farm, I was an hourly employee, and eventually I took over a block. So I managed one block, and that was everything with the labor, chemical costs, and getting spreadsheets and tracking everything. So all of a sudden, you can start to picture, you're not just putting a product on your orchard, or you're not just sending a crew in there. That's all costs money, takes time. So when you start to put some numbers to all those tasks and things, all of a sudden your decision making is taking that into the equation, which is very important when it's you putting all that money into to produce the crop. So doing your homework and really understanding the financials implications of the decisions you make will force you to do things as efficiently and effectively as possible, because you have to.
If you're growing your operation, your labor demands are going to grow as well, and your team's going to grow, and establishing like a strong working culture and a system of leadership that's going to work for your farm that can grow with you is super important. I don't think we would see anywhere near the growth that we've had on our farm if we didn't have some guys who've been with us for more than a decade, who have the experience running these jobs. Then all of a sudden you're not managing 20 guys, you're managing 5 guys who have their own teams, and scaling down those things so that all of a sudden these great big labor needs you're going to have in the future as you expand, you can meet the way that you want to. You can set your team up and have, even when you grow to a large size, you can operate with the intimacy or the skill that you have with a smaller operation.
We would not have had the growth and the success that the farm is seeing without our labor force caring about the farm as it's their own. That's one thing I did forget to say if we were giving advice to other young growers, is it is a lifestyle. It's not a job. I think it's important to have buy-in from your partner to get into something like this, because it's not your typical 9 to 5, and your partner, whether they work directly in the business or not, will be a part of the business, and whether that's actually working on the business or taking on a little bit extra at home certain times of the year so that you can be available to do the things you need to do. But whether they're signing up for it or not, they're in it just as much, and that's a lifestyle decision that you have to make as a team before getting into it, because it's not just you going to your job every day. It's definitely a team effort.